World Mission Report. Come Back to God. August 17. Columbia. Willington. Willington drank alcohol for the first time after church, one Sabbath in Bogota, Colombia. He was 14, and he gave in to pressure from friends. After the first drink, he drank nearly every day for the next 24 years. Willington moved out of his parents' house when he was 17. Then he moved in with his girlfriend and lived with her for 21 years. They had 2 sons. He drank at every opportunity. Because of his drinking, he couldn't hold down a job. One day, a friend of his father came to his house and found him drunk. "Willington, I know your father," said the friend, whose name was Jamie. "You can return to God. Are you an Adventist?" Willington asked, his speech slurred. "Yes, I'm an Adventist," Jamie said. "If you are an Adventist, sing to me hymn number 500, Willington said. The hymn was "Far Beyond the Sun." Jamie sang the hymn, and Willington wept. When the song ended, Willington recited his favorite Bible verse. It was John chapter 3 verse 16. That day marked the beginning of a new friendship. Over the next 3 years, Jamie kept visiting Willington and telling him, "Please, come back to God." Willington always had the same reply. "Yes," he said, "don't worry, I will." But he didn't. Jamie offered Bible studies, but Willington wasn't interested. He liked Jamie, but he didn't want to spend time with God. Still, he defended the seventh-day Sabbath to his wife and 2 sons, who went to church on Sundays. "You don't need to go to that church," he said. "It's a waste of time. If you want to spend your time wisely, you should go to a Seventh-day Adventist church." As Willington kept drinking without a steady income, he sank deeply into debt. One evening, Jamie arrived at Willington's house with an Adventist pastor and several other church members. The front door was open, and they entered the house before Willington knew it. The pastor gave a 5-minute sermon, but Willington didn't hear the pastor speaking. He felt like he was hearing the voice of the Holy Spirit. The sermon touched his heart. Then Jamie invited him to evangelistic meetings that had just begun at the Adventist church. "Your mother asked me to tell you, come to God," he said. After the visitors left, Willington decided to stay at home with his family. Then his 12-year-old son came up to him. "Father, you told me that the Seventh-day Adventist church is the true church," he said. "Please take me to that church." The words broke Willington's heart. He decided to take his family to the evangelistic meetings at the Adventist church. That evening's presentation surprised Willington. He thought that it was about him. He thought, "How does this pastor know so much about me?" Then he began to weep. He thought about his alcoholism and his debts. His life of sin weighed heavily on him. When the pastor made an altar call, Willington said to himself, "I can't go to the front. When I leave, I'm going to go to the bar to drink." He decided not to go forward. But before he realized it, he was standing at the front with 17 other people. He prayed silently, "God, I can't be here. You know that I'm going to drink tonight." After the meeting, he went to the bar. As he drank, he reflected on the sermon. He felt something inside him was different. 3 weeks passed, and he kept drinking. Every time he drank, he sensed that the Holy Spirit was saying, "I will help you to stop drinking if you make a firm decision to quit." On the 4th week, he told himself, "I can't keep doing this. I have to make a decision, either for God or for alcohol." At the end of the week, on Saturday night, he chose God. He prayed, "God, I don't want to drink anymore." In the morning, he prayed again, saying, "God, help me today, one day at a time, to stop drinking." To his surprise, he didn't drink all that day. It was his first day of victory since he started drinking at the age of 14. He thought with surprise, I thought that I would never stop drinking, but God has helped me." When Jamie heard the news, he was delighted. Willington was coming back to God. This mission story provides an inside look at life in Colombia and missional challenges there. Part of this quarter's 13th Sabbath offering will help open 2 centers of influence to help children who are at risk of alcohol and drug abuse in Colombia. The centers of influence will be in the cities of Buenaventura and Puerto Tellada. Thank you for planning a generous offering on September 28.